beautiful. Or in Patrick Bateman voice. Nice. It's good to have you here. What's happening in the comments here? Peg Bell is with us. Jeff Emerson, Mark V. Zechariah Studios, Joe Burns, Killa Crazy. Good morning, everybody. So good to see you. Greg, Arimia. All right. Mr. Exclusive, Blurred Lines is here. Fantastic. It's good to have you here. Let's see what's happening in the world right now. I'll tell you in just a second. Got a good night's sleep. Had 2 good broadcasts yesterday. If you liked my 10 reasons why you need to make more money, go back and listen to it again. And those are 10 great reasons regarding finances. It's not how to make money. It's why you need to make more money. And I believe I laid out a fairly fair, reasonable plan that just honors God and also is very effective. And some of the most well-off people I know live that way. Topic for discussion today. That's actually a good question. I'll tell you in just a second here. Usually I prepare something, but today is different. It kind of goes like this. It's not in the way you look or the things that you say that you do. Hold the line. Love isn't always on time. Remember that song from Toto from 1978? Love isn't always on time. Isn't that the truth? You know what I can't stand? I can't stand the people who are, and I've done this before, when you least expect it. Love will come when you least expect it, which means you don't have what it takes now. And everything is up to random chance. That's pretty funny. Pretty funny. Let me click around here. Man, this coffee is good. Holy cow. I have to laugh. You will never hear me quote MLD. Never in a million years. But he says, I've met some really nice women on my USA trip so far, but overall, I truly cannot handle the craziness and just things how are here. Everything is done so poorly with no order. I truly love living in Japan. Oh my gosh, that is way too funny. That is way too funny. Christopher Dallas says, you can seek out love, or whether that's a good idea or not is the question, but almost everything is more likely to happen when you're actively looking for it. George says, hey, man, I'm a 29-year-old dude. I want to have kids, but I'm too complicated of a dude when it comes to dealing with me. What do you suggest I do? It's like going to a doctor and saying, doctor, it hurts when I do that. And the doctor says, well, then don't do that. You know, you act too complicated. I have a simplistic response to that. Well, then don't be complicated. Just stop it. Stop it. I forget there was a skit. Maybe it was on, it was a Friday show. It was funnier than Saturday Night Live. It was on Mad TV. And a woman would go to a doctor, and the doctor was Bob Newhart. And the woman said, I'm afraid And he says, what are you afraid of? She says, I'm afraid of dying and being put in a box and buried in the ground and not being dead yet. And just like being in that box, being trapped. And the doc's answer was, okay, well, stop thinking about that. And the therapy session kept going, and she kept referring to like being in the box, in the ground, in the dark. And his whole thing was, stop it. Just stop it. So are you being weird? Are you being antisocial? Stop it. Sounds very simplistic. Sometimes it's just a matter of don't do that. Doc, it hurts when I do that. Well, don't do that. Be a simple man. Donald Brow says, I heard a 79-year-old radio counselor say every man is a fool for love and every woman is a devil in disguise. I get that. I think we've all played the fool. I think we've all been a fool. I think we've all fallen into some crazy traps. And there's not a heck of a lot we're going to do about it. If we learn from it, great. If we don't, I guess we're bound to repeat those mistakes. If you never had tallowed coffee, you don't know what you're missing. I take a coffee scoop and get a spoonful of beef tallow, put it in my coffee, and I stir it with literally with a milk frother. It just blends the fat in. Basically, I'm making bulletproof coffee, which will satisfy me. So I don't want to have breakfast until like noon, or like meal number one till noon. Literally will satisfy me. I want to correct the 30-year of bases coming from narcissistic, indifferent man-child of a father. How do I virilize myself? I am not sure what your question is. Yash says, how to date a girl who is senior to you in an organization and she sees you as a junior. That's never a good situation, ever. A woman seeing you as a junior is never a good situation. Ever, ever, ever. Reformed Watchman says, sure seems to happen like that a lot these days. Donald, going through a court case today with probable soon-to-be ex-wife, zeroed out minister here. Reformed Watchman, email me. You are not the first that I have dealt with. Many, many, many ministers, many priests, many find their way here. Imagine that. How does that happen? How in the world does that happen? How do people find their way here? One way or the other. Pardon my glasses. I have my glasses. I have to get a new prescription. So I find myself kind of getting close. George says, I understand your point. I'm totally a simple man, but I get bored with things easy. And if I put all my love in one place, and that might be too much for someone. I guess that needs to stop. Yeah, that's called love bombing. And back to that doctor recommendation. Stop it. Stop it. I have a t-shirt that says, stop it. I'll sit down with you. You can tell me your problems, and I will just point to my t-shirt that says, stop it. That's $400, please. Stop it. Sometimes there's no explanations. Sometimes there's no instructions, except stop it. I need more coffee. Boy, that went down super, super fast. I can't believe it. Let me get some more coffee. Hold on. I'll be right back. back. Sorry about the delay. I had to pour a second cup of coffee because that first went down so fast. I am not kidding you when I say I put a tablespoon of fat in my coffee. What I have here is Wagyu fat. Wagyu fat and a coffee scoop. I literally will take, I'll show you, this right here. 1 scoop of fat. A scoop of fat. And I put that in the coffee. And then I take a milk frother. This is even before I stir it with chopsticks. Then I take a milk frother and I put that in. And it is magnificent. Does it taste like beef? No. No. Rendered fat doesn't taste like the animal that you got it from. Pretty darn good, though. Man, that is good. Very, very satisfying. Crazy. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm already getting yelled at on Gab. That's all right. That is not an issue for me. I'm used to getting yelled at by people on the web. As been said a million times, whenever a woman says, I love you, in your head, you need to just silently add the words, for now. Yeah, for now. Honey, I love you. She says, honey, I love you. You say, for now. It's always for now. 12 hours later, everything can change. It can be, my dear, my love, my husband, I love you and I'm waiting for you. For now. If you know, you know. It's better to hear, I appreciate you or I respect you than I love you. The minute a woman says to me that she loves me, that's instant red flag. Instant. Right away. If a woman says to me, I really respect you or I appreciate you, son of a gun. Let's go, baby. Let's go away for the weekend. That's kind of like how I feel. Not literally go away for a weekend, but you know what I'm saying. That's how I feel. But the minute I hear I love you, unless you've been married for a long time, you've been together a long time, those words can really, they come with a lot. When you tell somebody you love them, that means you're committed to them. You're loyal to them. You're not a coward. You're with them no matter what. If they go broke, if they get sick, if they are going through various changes. I love you means unconditionally, I am with you forever, ever, forever. So ladies, go easy on the I love you stuff with guys. And guys, enough with the I love you stuff. Look, it creeps, first of all, it creeps women out when a guy says I love you too early. You know, if you've been through stuff together, it's okay to say, man, I really appreciate you. Or, you know, we both have the good sense to see good things in one another. And that's what brings us and keeps us together. But just out of the blue, that feeling good, the oxytocin, really what you're saying is, I oxytocin you. Oxytocin does not keep people together. It makes you feel good at the moment, but it doesn't keep you together. I've always said women are not different because of a different zip code or country code. I get so irritated at these guys that say, oh, you got to find a Filipino wife. You got to find the Eastern European wife. Yawn. Holy cow. Do I know it? Do I know it? Yes, Melissa, love is a verb, not a feeling. It's better to say I make you dinner. I remember years ago in the 80s going through that stage where everybody blames their parents for everything. And everybody does that for about a decade in their life. You're pissed at your parents somehow, some way. You look at your own shortcomings and you kind of get mad at your mom and dad and blame them. And the reality is they're all winging it. Parents who had kids, everybody's winging it. You have a baby and you know what you do? You can read all the damn books you want, but you know what you do? You cross your fingers and hope that he or she turns out okay. Every time you put a baby to bed at night in the crib, you pray, you say, Lord, oh, thank you for this time of rest. Now let this baby sleep till morning. 2 hours later, and you're like, oh, and you just start thinking, man, the proper attitude would be, boy, I'm glad I got 2 hours of sleep, rather than, oh, this child is always wrecking my sleep. Parents are winging it. Nobody's an expert when kids come along. So by the time those kids are in their 20s, they get a little bit hostile towards the parents that weren't perfect. I remember one time telling my dad, you never told me you loved me. This was like in the 80s when you're supposed to tell everybody you love them. I love you. I love you. I just want you to know that I love you. I just called to say I love you. Too much pop culture nonsense. And my dad said to me, what do you mean I don't love you? Just like deadpan. What do you mean I don't love you? Well, you never loved me. You never told me you love me. I don't know. It's maybe 24 years old. He says, okay. I didn't help you buy your first car. We didn't go on vacation every year since you were a kid. I didn't help you buy your first bike. We don't go hunting and fishing. Oh, that Easter suit you get every year? Yeah, I bought that. Those clothes that you wear at the beginning of every school year? Right, that's right. I bought them. And the more he was saying, the more I was feeling embarrassed, because I know exactly what he was getting at without actually getting at it. And that was, you show love through actions, not through words. Simple as that. Did you ever get a breakup letter? I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I respect you, I love it when you do this, I love it when you do that. And then at the very end, but we're not meant to be together. I love you, I love you, I love you. It's like, oh, shut up. Toss that shit out. Love is a verb. Love is an action. Love is not a word. The Greeks had what? 4 words for love? We have 1 word for love. I love coffee. Good morning, honey. I love you. I love ribeye steak. Hi, sweetie. I love you too. I like strawberry shortcake in the summertime. I really do love it. Oh, how are you, baby? I love you. You see what I'm saying? We use love everywhere. Everywhere. Do I love my wife the same way I love coffee? God, I hope not. For coffee's sake and for my wife's sake. But we throw that word around so much, it's ridiculous. But nothing hurts us more than the withdrawal of fake love. Imagine being impressed by fake love only gets you to the point where you get discouraged and disappointed and hurt by fake love. You loved me with your fake love. You hurt me by withdrawing your fake love. What really should hurt is your lack of presence. The things you do for me that I no longer get. That's what I miss. That's what hurts. Not I miss all of the I love yous. Don't throw those words around too much. Simon says a woman can cheat on you and say, I love you at the same time. That is an absolute fact. Relationships take a lot of work, just needs to be equal giving of the relationship. Yeah, we have different roles, but I'm not going to say those roles are equal because I sleep upstairs in this house, and I can tell you what, if shit goes down and I hear glass breaking, there ain't no woman in my bed that's going to run downstairs and confront the danger or the threat. It's me locking and loading and grabbing a knife and grabbing a baseball bat and coming down the stairs and confronting whatever is being threatening while she's calling 911 and crouching behind the bed. Simple as that. There's no such thing as equality in relationships. There are defined roles, but hell no. What if I just like yawned and rolled over? Honey, you take care of that. You know that glass window breaking? Can you go deal with that? There's someone breaking in the house. Listen, I got to get up in a couple hours. Can you go downstairs and take care of that robber, that thief, please? All right, sweetie. Let me know if you need any help. No. It's Bruno. Get downstairs. Can you do something about it? Go look and see. Been there, done that. Just needs to be equal. This is insane. No two people are equal. Sexes are not equal. Love consists of many components. Take one away, like trust, for example, and it's not love any longer. That is true. That is true. Is there something called ethics in dating life? I mean, if a woman is interested, is it okay to date a married woman? If the woman is interested, is it okay to date a married woman? Is she separated? Or is she still going home and doing, honey, I'm home? What's going on? What do you mean date a married woman? You mean a happily married woman who's not separated, living on her own? Come on, man. That's not too smart. Oh, by the way, I'll put a link for the Wagyu beef. This is $29.99. This will last me a year. Everything that I cooked this week, I cooked in the Wagyu beef tallow. Unbelievable. It's flavorless, so you're not getting that beef kind of flavor with it. There's no flavor in it. It's basically just rendered fat. That's as soft as vanilla pudding. So when you think fat, you're thinking like hard chunks of fat. It's not like that. You open it up and it looks like vanilla pudding. Can you see? Looks like ice cream. It's fantastic. Has no flavor. I cooked a chicken burger in it this week. I cooked a tuna steak in it this week. I cooked a big giant fillet of salmon in it this week. I used it when I cooked shredded beef and had shredded beef with garlic and string beans. Fantastic. The other thing I like to cook in is duck fat, and I have that. Gustavo says she's not separated. Well, then I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there. Just ain't going to do it. Nope. Any advice to forget about women? Stay focused. I've been telling you this for 7 years. Get to the gym and work out. When you are doing your concentrated exercises, you're not thinking about a woman. You're not thinking about her. You're not thinking about her curves, her breasts, those beautiful hips, that nice smooth ass, those long smooth legs, the taste that she has, the feel of her lips on your body. You're not feeling that. You're not thinking about that stuff when you're working out. The last thing I'm thinking about, or the only thing that I'm thinking about if I'm doing curls, is this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what's going through my head right there. Not breasts, ass, lips, legs, blowjob. I'm not thinking that way. I'm concentrating. That's why we like to call them concentration curls. Think about that. You don't want to be someone's boyfriend either, some married chick's boyfriend. She's monkey branching the shit out of another guy. Do you really want to participate in that? Are you really interested in being the other guy, in being a home wrecker? I certainly don't believe that a man can wreck a home. I certainly do believe that he can contribute to it. If a woman wants to cheat, she's going to cheat, and there's not a hell of a lot you're going to do about it. My attitude is, what thou doest, do quickly. You want to leave? Go. Pack your shit. Let me help you and get out. Accelerate the process. Accelerate the process. When a woman breaks up with you, why the hell would you even hang on to one damn little trinket? It's got to go. It's got to go. You're afraid. It costs money. I could sell it. It's got to go. If you gave her something expensive, she needs to send that thing back, because that is a symbol of the relationship, whether it be a ring, whether it be a piece of expensive jewelry. That needs to come back to you. Everything else goes. Simple as that. There is no discussion there. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I always like to have a little noise when I take care of my coffee. Hold on. We're back. Enough of the noise of the ocean. Warmed up my cup of coffee. See, I have a metal kitchen table. This thing is metal, which means that it conducts heat and coldness. So a cup of coffee that's not sitting on like a little towel or napkin or something like that, a cup of hot coffee becomes a cup of cold coffee real quick. So I just had to warm it up. Does meditation help getting your conversation skills better? Do you recommend meditation? I'm not a fan of meditation. Yesterday, I prayed to the Lord just like I'm talking to you now. I'm walking and I'm like, well, Lord, it's time. Let's have a little talk, I said. And I just started talking. And when I felt like I was done, I literally said, thank you for listening. That was it. I didn't need to do anything else. Last night, I did 2 shows in a row, back to back. One on making money, the other on how to defeat porn addiction. Then I went outside and had a pipe, smoked a pipe. Came in, went to bed. Felt good. But part of what I did yesterday was talk to God, have a little talk with God. The Stevie Wonder song from 1976, Have a Talk with God. Possibly one of the best songs that's out there. One of the best. Let's see, enough weight on the bar, and you better be concentrating on what you're doing, or the bar will teach you a harsh lesson. Form and focus, absolutely, 100%. Do I offer coaching to incels? I'm not violent or misogynist. I'm just short and ugly. Yes. Listen, I'm a 63-year-old incel. I know what the hell I'm talking about. Former Playboy, now 63-year-old incel. It is what it is. I'm not bitching about it. I'm not running away from it. Who would ever admit that they're an incel? Seriously, who would ever admit that? I would. And there's a lot of people out there who feel like when someone says, "You're just an old incel," I'm like, "Oh, why? Why, thank you." And we cut through all the conversation. I don't have to explain myself to you. That's fine. By incel, meaning I want to be married. I want to be married. And until I get married, I'm an incel. Simple as that. What I don't want to do is have a string of women going in and out of my damn bed. Tired of that lifestyle. It's not a recent lifestyle, but I will tell you, doing your laundry every single day when a strange chick leaves, that just gets old after a while. Who the heck wants to keep that up? Seriously. I don't. But yes, I do coaching for men. I don't work with women. I only work with men. Simon says, in my experience, many women don't like too independent of a man. I can cook. I can be by myself. I work out daily. It's like they see you as a competition. Women become the man that they want. They buy their own home. Most of them are pretty shitty cooks. Most modern women can't cook. I cook better. I cook better than most of the women I've ever dated, ever in my life. They have said to me, "I wish I had your skills." Well, honey, you got to learn. We got the same 24 hours in a day. I happen to love cooking. Love it. And I'm not going to do all the damn cooking if we ever got together. So you either have to learn or observe or something. I know women I have relationships with who actually feared that I was going to starve if we got together because they didn't know how to cook. Everything can be learned, but women have become the man that they want. Think about this. Women have become the man that they want. They work out, they make money, they travel, they fuck around with or without commitment. Every few years, they got a boyfriend. They gather a bunch of gifts. They might gather an engagement ring. Then, on a whim, there's another guy. They're curious. They're bored. And they monkey branch. Then they tell the other guy, "I'm a coward. I've always been loyal to you. I just don't think it's going to work out." And they make up some bullshit excuse why they want to leave. And then the average man who thinks that he might have had a real winner says to himself, "Holy shit, what the fuck just happened here? I was doing everything right." Happens in the dating world, happens in the marriage world. That is an absolute fact. Up early with the Sultan. Living alone for a long time, it gets hard to have a new partner move in. Hell no, no new partners move. There will be no moving in. Sorry. I am sorry. Honest to God, I am sorry. There will be no moving in unless you have a history together and there's some real strong lines there. There will be no moving in. Sorry. Church, same thing. Right, learn from and with your person, it makes for a stronger team. I like when Peg says team, I like the word team. You view yourself as a team. But here's the thing. Scripture talks about a woman leaves her mother and father and cleaves to her husband. And what? Two become one. That's what we want. Now, here we are a little bit older. How many women live with their mother and father until they live with their husband? 0. I knew one that did that. 1. 2, actually. 2. My kids have been raised in such a way where they're not going to go experience the world, fuck everything that walks, and then settle down and get married. My son got married. He lived at home till he got married. I did not expect my son to go out there and bang 20 or 30 women to find himself. I'm hoping they're working on having a baby right now. That's what I want. I want to get a note, a message that says, Dad, you're going to be a grandpa. That's what I want. But I'm glad he wasn't out there discovering the world, tasting pussy everywhere, just getting a disease, having to talk to me, getting his heart broken. Damn. Oh, are you kidding me? My oldest went from living at home to living as a married man. You will leave your mother and father and cleave to your husband. Simple as that. And he married a woman like that. I think it's absolutely important. Well, of course, at my age, am I going to find a woman that lives with her parents? Hell no, that ain't going to happen. And I am open to marriage, so I have no friggin' idea, man. There were times I thought I was in love. Oh, damn. I'm not even using the word love anymore. That will never happen. At this point in my life, everything's got to be 100% business. 100% business. What are you bringing to the table? None of this bullshit. I am the table. Stop it, honey. Yeah, you look like a table. Your legs look like table legs. Stop it. Enough of I am the table. %70 of divorces are initiated by women. Absolute freaking fact. I did not make that up. That statistic goes to 90% if the woman is college educated. Is college and education really a good move for a family, for a woman? I need to go experience a few more dicks before I settle down. Come on, man. How many dicks is enough? I wish I married my first girlfriend 50 years ago. I wish I married her. I wish I married my second or third girlfriend. After 3, 4, 5 girlfriends, I'm like, fuck it. I'm done. That's it. I'm just a fuckboy from here on out. Every time I'd get my heart broke, I'd go and just fuck 20 women. Some would stick around. Some would be just like me. Hey, what's up? Get back together every couple of years. Oh, what a shitty ass life that is. Damn. When dating, should I ask myself, what would Jesus do? No, Jesus never dated. I'd say be Christ-like, but how can you be Christ-like if you got a girl on top of you? That's pretty difficult. I don't like fat acceptance. Yeah, women start losing weight. I'm like, honey, slow down. Girl, when a woman starts losing weight on you, like ridiculous, starts working out, she's preparing herself for takeoff. God knows I experienced it. I am so friggin' good at turning nerd chicks into supermodels, preparing them for the world. I'm great at that. I can take the average looking girl and help her. And just by being with her, she walks and talks like a woman that's just beautiful and desirable. But guess what? I trained her to walk out of my life. She now has the confidence to go and get higher value men. Duh, right? Should you see a shrink? No. You should see a coach. Shrinks keep shit going. Coaches deal on the future, not the past. Social media has become more of an online dating source for women than all of the dating sites together. I've said this forever. Instagram is a gay dating site. Facebook, YouTube, Are you kidding me? They're all dating sites. They're all dating sites. The next woman, I don't want to say this in a weird kind of way, but the next woman that's going to be in my life probably will be from social media somehow, some way, somewhere. That's how my life has been. I don't have to go out to the local whatever joint to find a woman. They're right here in front of me on my social media. Just like they show up, they can leave just as fast. So watch it, gentlemen. Watch it. Being a grandparent is supposed to be life's dessert, more fun and less responsibility. Wishing you lots of dessert. I wish myself lots of dessert. Hey, listen, man, if I find a woman young enough and still wants to crank out 2 or 3 kids, I'm there. Is that even possible? That means I got to go pretty young, don't I? I still want to be a productive father. Still. I would still love to crank out 2 or 3 kids. Now look at me. I'm a young, older guy. An older, young guy. I could still crank out some kids. I still got the energy to do so. I mean, my kids I'll be 80 when they graduate from high school, but I'm still willing to do it. It's something that I love. There's nothing more exciting than starting a family. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. The first one crashed and burned. I would do it again. I would do it again. So, past week and a half, I am wife hunting. I am open to marriage. But what comes along with that? A brain that's a little bit smarter than it was 20, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. How do you think the work-life balance should be for a single male striving for excellence? No such thing as work-life balance. Stop it. To be alive is to work. To be awake is to work. When you stop working, you start dying. Simple as that. Best place to meet women is the supermarket. Just check what they're buying. I have not found that to be the case. I'm very focused. When I go to the food market, I go there, get what I got to get, and get out. Not a great place to meet. You want to flirt a little bit? Yeah, that can happen. But to meet somebody, very awkward, very strange. Supermarket, odd place, very odd. I'm going to get married. I'm 31. Give me 3 quick suggestions that are going to be useful. Work on your body. Right here. This, number 1. Work on your indifference. You have to give less of a shit than she does. It has to go like this. Honey, I love you, but I love me just a little bit more. I love you. I really do. I mean, I think we really got a thing going, but I love me that much more. That right there keeps a relationship going. Once a woman knows that she has you right here, you're done, my brother. You're done. Nihilistic Monk says, you would think a high-value male like you, George, should have no problem finding a wife. Huge difference between a woman and a wife. Getting a woman? Are you kidding me? You know how many women contact me? It doesn't matter where I go. I'm very social. I say hi, I'm friendly, I smile, I flirt like a madman. I'm a good guy. I hold doors for like all the good stuff. Okay, I dress well, I smell well, I groom well, all of that good. Why wouldn't a woman be attracted to a guy like me? I'm educated. I make a lot of money. I have a good life. A lot of good stuff happening. Great future. Healthy. But who wants just another fucking woman leeching off of you, sucking your emotions, giving you hope for something? For what? That's why you just got to remain single until, I don't want to say until the right one comes along, because I'm not a fan of the right one. But finding a woman is different than finding a wife. I don't want a woman who is trying to be a man. I don't want a woman who travels. If a woman travels for her business, you know she's getting fucked by someone else or has. Not even remotely interested in that. You can have that. I'm not interested in that. How do you protect yourself from getting divorced the second time? Have shit in place. The next house I buy will be in my name, not our name. Put it that way. And the stuff that I want will be mine. The stuff that we gather during the marriage, of course, anything that is gathered during the marriage becomes part of the marital assets and gets split. Simple as that. Always have a side hustle. Always, gentlemen, always have a side hustle. Cash, side hustle. Cash. Somehow, some way, always have a cash side hustle. But George, you're 63. You wouldn't have kids with a woman you met right away. After a few years, you marry her, then later the kids, blah, blah, blah. You may be 68 by the time those kids are born. Thoughts. My thoughts are this. I would still love to be married and make babies. Simple as that. I have zero limitations. None. Why wouldn't I? Like I said, I only look my age from here up. From here down, it's a whole different story. Face is wrinkled, the hair is gray. Doesn't matter. If a woman can fall in love with this, cool. If not, then fuck it. Simple as that. What I don't want to do is go back to being a fuckboy. And I got a great line of work. I work with men all day long, helping men get their shit together. I help men get out of relationships, get out of marriages. I help men rebound after 22 years of marriage. And then she says, I don't want to be married anymore. And he doesn't know what the hell to do. Who does he talk to? Me. I get more done for him than his lawyer ever will. And I'm straight. I do not dance around the issues. I do not take the long way around. People get cold, hard truth. When people come to me for coaching, you know what they're paying for? They're paying for me to be an asshole. Simple as that. Can you imagine, we pay people to be nice and to do things for us. We don't pay people to be assholes. I can be a person that you fucking hate, that you love to hate. And when it's all said and done, as you see in the comments sometime, George, you helped save my life when I was in a very dark place in my life. I found you on YouTube randomly. My friendly acquaintance, there is nothing random about you finding me on YouTube. Nothing random about it. I've been helping men since 1982, professionally. I can help you too. She has to fall in love for the rest of her life. Yep. Jay Kripp says, George, tell the men to research irrevocable private express trust to protect assets from women creditors and know that their future offspring will get. If you don't own it, she can't take it. Tough love seems to be the best way. Everything good is earned through hardship or tough love. That is true. 23-year-old virgin here, big fan of your channel. That's good. She's a boss babe. George's advice works in some states. Different jurisdictions have property laws. I've lived in 3 states. The states that I've lived in, everything I'm telling is the truth. I have a friend, multiple millionaire, owns a car dealership. He gave her a company credit card and Range Rover. She left him, tells him he's too clingy. Too clingy. Imagine that shit. Women can drain your resources. Love your wife more than your children. Let me put it this way. I do believe that the hierarchy is this. God loves you. You love your wife. The wife loves the kids. All right. So that's kind of like how it goes. The priority is this. When a man gets his crap together with the Lord, then things seem to line up with the wife. But if the wife is not willing, nothing's going to work. He could be the godliest man in the world, but it might not work. It is the giant wheel of fortune. Where does it stop? Where does it stop? Cohabitation is cancer. Been there, done that. It's trouble. My boss's side piece has a husband, kids, and drives a Range Rover. Meanwhile, he's unemployed and her man pays for it all while getting cheated on. I've had women like that in my life. Married women who were like separated. Well, we sleep in different bedrooms. That's like a new thing that women do. Well, we haven't had sex in 6 years. It seems like that 5 to 6 year thing that's like a thing. We haven't had sex in 5 or 6 years. We sleep in separate bedrooms. He does his thing, I do my thing. So when I meet a woman like that, that means, now this is not now, it's in the past. You know, you're not going to her house for dinner. She's always coming to your house, and she's doing shit to you that she hasn't done to her husband in 20 years. Those are the craziest sexual women. But I'm not here to spread degeneracy. I lived like that for a long time. No more. This ain't going to happen. Once the sex runs dry, it's nothing more than unwelcome guests living in your space and home. The relationship is toast. The best gift parents can give their children is a strong home. I do believe that. I'm not going to lie to you here. You know, remember last week I was doing that thing? Someone's got to tell you the truth. It might as well be me. Or I'd say, just keeping it real on a Saturday night. That's the kind of stuff that I talk about. Let me check something out on my phone. I'm pissed at my phone right now because the lavalier mic isn't working. You try to give me your money, you better save it, babe. Save it for your rainy day. I have only one burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire. Jimi Hendrix, 1967. It's a good song, right? Hendrix. Best Hendrix album is called Jimi Hendrix Experience Smash Hits. That album alone, Smash Hits, is all you need to know about Hendrix. That's all. You get that CD, you're all set. That digital download, you're all set. You are the rooster. I am the rooster. I am the rooster. What are the lyrics to Rooster by Alice in Chains? Let's find that real quick. Ain't found a way to kill me yet. Eyes burned with stinging sweat. Seems every path leads to nowhere. Wife, kids, household pet. Army green was no safe bet. The bullets screamed to me from somewhere. Here they come to snuff the rooster. Yeah, here come the rooster. You know he ain't gonna die. You know way he ain't gonna die. Walking tall machine gun man. They spit on me in my homeland. Gloria sent me pictures of my boy. Got my pills against mosquito death. My buddy's breathing his dying breath. Oh God, please, will you help me make it through? Here they come to snuff the rooster. Oh yeah, here they come to snuff the rooster. But you know he ain't gonna die. He ain't gonna die. What a great song for the average man. They're not gonna snuff the rooster. He ain't gonna die. That's what you should be singing. That's actually a great album. That the Alice in Chains Unplugged album is maybe one of the best albums that there is. When it comes to quote unquote breakup songs. There is, you know, there's a handful of breakup songs, and that's one of them. You know the song, right? Alice in Chains. What year is that? Had to be the early 90s. Yeah, the unplugged version is the best. I like the unplugged versions of everything. Everything. Great stuff. All the disharmonies of Alice in Chains. Holy cow. Come on. That stuff is so good. What you said is just happening. 2 separate rooms, separate lives. I just want her out. I want my house I restored, built for our family. She's a black heart. I'll never trust another human being again. Amen. Do I use water filters? I have a water filter in my refrigerator. You know, like in the door, there's that water dispenser. But every 6 months, you open up the refrigerator, then there's the 2 produce drawers. In between the produce drawers, like a cartridge filter. That gets replaced about every 6 months. You kind of twist it, pull it out, put the other one in. It removes like 99% of impurities. The water is actually quite beautiful. I am cutting hair today at noon, coming back, pumping iron, and I'm probably going to watch an episode of How to Get Rich by Ramit Sethi. It's on Netflix. It's a pretty interesting series. I'm not a huge fan of Ramit, but it's an important series. If you have Netflix, there is a series called How to Get Rich. I believe it's 8 episodes. It's compelling. It's compelling. And they really are the average person. The different couples, they're the average person. Lugo says, good morning. It's 4:55 a.m. in Colombia, and I've really been enjoying your content. Very spot on. Have a great day. Well, here's a cup of coffee to you. Cheers, my friend. Sometimes the Daybreak Show is a recorded show that's edited along with transitions and like an intro and an ending and all this kind of stuff. Other times it's just live like this, where I just come live and a bunch of people join, and that's that. And in a 24-hour period, if I can get anywhere between 2,000 and 5,000 people that have watched the video, I'm cool with that. I mean, I've got some videos that have millions, hundreds of thousands of hits, tens of thousands of hits. But usually the Daybreak shows like this usually end up with anywhere between 2,500, 5,000 views, that type of thing. You are degrading yourself by marriage again with a woman that has been with other men. Yeah, in this world, how can you find a woman that hasn't been with other men? How does that happen? Seriously, it doesn't. The reality is it doesn't. That's, what am I going to say? It's a fact. One woman said to me, I've only had 4 boyfriends. And all I kept thinking was, well, that's a nice way to minimize it. 4 boyfriends. That doesn't mean you haven't slept with 20 men somewhere. That doesn't take in account one-night stands. That doesn't take in account college years. That doesn't take in account business trips where you fucked the guy in sales, where you went out to dinner, you went to a hotel, you had a conference meeting all day, you have dinner all day, and then you stick around and have drinks. And then, you know, you had maybe a glass of wine too much, you're a little bit horny, ovulatory shift is going on, you're wearing red, you have your hoop earrings on, you look sexy. The later the night gets on, the more sexy everybody feels. Come on now. We've heard this phrase. And then she says, well, you know, I was drunk. I had too much to drink. He was cute. And just one thing led to another. It's really nothing. It's really nothing. I was drunk. He was cute. And one thing led to another. Okay. How many of those? How many of those women have you been with? And us guys, will you stop it with like defending women who've spread their legs? Stop defending Jezebels. Stop it. But she goes to church now. Okay. I get it. I get it. Reality is often disappointing. Good morning, Colin from the UK. Netflix is one of the core evil new economy companies out there. Thanks for the channel. Nice to see some motivation despite my pessimism. I'll admit, hey, we all have pessimism. We all do. But you know, and that's black pill stuff. That's black pill stuff. Sometimes we just want the world to just go away. Russia, do your job. Just take us out. That's it. Nuclear wasteland, come quickly. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. When you finally dare to dive in the deep end of the pool, you won't have to worry about hitting your head in the bottom anymore. Do your research well and test it in reality and learn from experiences. That's great. That's great. That's good common sense. Why do they call it common sense? That's what I want to know, because it, you know, think about it. It's not really common. Common sense is not really common. It really should be called uncommon sense. It really should be called uncommon sense. Let me just check out a couple things real quick here. So what's happening on my side of YouTube? Why do people even come here? What is happening on this channel? Been here for 7 years now. Number one, we talk about goals. What do you want to reach in your goals? Yeah, do we do a lot of bitching about certain things? Yeah, we do, because it's cathartic, and that's normal. And your bitching is safe here. I'm not going to call you negative. You might be going through some stuff right now that might come across as being negative. I get it. Everybody's got a bad day. Everyone's entitled to a bad day, bad week, bad month. I'm not going to be one of those people that are like, suck it up. You can't afford to be negative. You know, all that like Navy SEAL stuff. That ain't me. All of that, you know, like Jocko and David Goggins kind of stuff. It's very motivational, but are they just sitting right next to you with a cup of coffee, being your bro, you know, and agreeing, yeah, man, life can suck. Breakups suck. I got to go to a job and work with people I don't like, take orders from someone, you know, less intelligent than me, and then they take half my money through taxes. I mean, that gets old after a while, right? Excuse me, time to finish up the coffee. Let me go and get my last cup. Who is keeping it more real than me? Come on. There is no other YouTube channel that is keeping it as real as I do. If you're single under 35, looking for a woman to have a family with, how old should the woman be for wife material? I don't know. I'm looking for a woman who still wants to crank out a couple kids. You know, I went through a breakup. And it was with a woman who I thought I was going to be married to and have some kids with. And, you know, I look at like my peers and they just seem so damn old. I look at like other men my age and I'm like, oh my God, really? You know, just like, seriously? Like, that is the unchecked life. I ain't going out like that. Sorry. I got another 30 years minimum 30 years. There's no reason why I can't crank out a couple kids. I need to find a woman to do it. Number one, you can't find a woman that wants to be a stay-at-home mother and wife. Where do they exist? I mean, obviously, I do not want a woman to work. You know, women are so connected to their work. They love calling another man boss. I don't need a woman to call me boss. That's ridiculous. But a woman being told what to do by another man all day long, then they come home and they just don't want to do anything. They lost all their motivation. Who the hell wants a corporate woman? I don't. She's got to be willing to leave that shit. I know a woman that wanted to be a stay-at-home, literally be a stay-at-home wife. You know, we were thinking about getting together, and I said, you know, look on LinkedIn, look on Glassdoor, look for jobs in this area. You know, something good can come out of that. It's not a bad thing. You know, you can find something in your field in this area. Her answer to me, her response to that was, how can I be a good wife to you if I have to work? I'm like, really? Honey, if you are not cranking out children, you have to work. Sorry. It's not a life of getting your nails done, going to the club, going shopping, driving a nice car, which is all going to happen. I mean, that's fine. A woman can go get her nails done. A woman can have a nice car. She can have nice things. That's fine. That's fine. Men will live in a damn one-room cabin and pee in a bucket or outside. Men will live in a cabin, open up the door, stand outside, drop their drawers, and take a leak in the woods and be happy. Have a pot of coffee on a fire, meat on a stick, and we're happy. The only reason why we like do anything that we do is because maybe for a woman and a little bit of pleasure and companionship that we have. But shit, give us just a rack, like a bed rack, a bear rug, a down pillow, a few pairs of pants, shirts, clothes, jacket, gloves, hats, some basic tools, a saw, an axe, and we're good, man. Bunch of firewood, we're okay. Targets, ammo, bows and arrows, we are okay. But we got to clean up, we got to shave, we got to take a shower, we got to use soap. That's all right. That's okay. Go out to dinner, have a good time, crack open a bottle of wine. That woman wanted to be taken care of. I get it. I would take care of any woman. I mean, that's kind of like my role. You know, it's like the gal that I dated after college, and I looked at her parents, and they had a great relationship. And I said, what's the secret to your relationship? He says, a long time ago, we decided two things. I changed the tires, and she changes the diapers. It wasn't equitable labor in the home. It was in mutually agreed upon division of labor. Like, for instance, I'm a great cook. I friggin' love cooking. I love eating. I really do. And I'm not talking about volumes. I'm not talking about like going to the Argentinian steakhouse where they give you meat on a sword and you get this mountain of food and then you get, you know, you feel like you got to undo a button. I'd rather just have a small portion of something tasty, healthy, and I'm good. I'm good. I don't need anything fancy. Like I said, men are happy with a fire, you know, a one-room cabin and meat on a stick. We really don't need much. But we do all the other stuff because we know women aren't like that. Excuse me. Any thoughts on women well into their 30s still watching Disney cartoons, going to Disneyland and all that? I was with one of those, ended quite messily. Yeah, that's trouble. Peg Bell says, I poured my third cup of coffee after a quick trip to the barn to feed the resident cat. Sounds like I missed a lot of the conversation. You'll have to watch the show and get back to it. Tony Shannon says, hey, George, I'm new here. Interesting content. The only place I'm aware of women who actually want to be a stay-at-home mother is a Catholic church. I can think of American and Irish women like this. I can't. I know Catholic women who go to Mass a few times a week. Will Noland says, find a woman that doesn't believe in divorce. Where? Where are they? Where's my binoculars? Where? I don't know anybody that believes in divorce. Nobody Nobody, not a single woman goes to the altar thinking, if this doesn't work, we'll just get divorced. Nobody believes in divorce until they believe in divorce. And then we're like, what the hell? What the hell happened? What happened to our vows? It's till you bore me do we part. It's not in sickness and health. It's you will be healthy all the time. It's not for richer or for poorer. You will always be making money. You will not have a single bad day. You know, it's funny. Younger women are attracted to an older guy, and it's a fetish. I've had that. I've had women as young as 32 years old be interested in me. I don't know if it's a daddy issue or what it is. I wouldn't be with a woman who's 32. That ain't gonna happen. Like these guys with women who are like half their age, that's, to me, that's like weird. That's like ego. It's odd. It impresses their friends, but all their friends know that it's not real and that it ain't gonna last. And that she's not his, it's just his turn. You know, all the friends know that, but the man doesn't know that. But younger women have an older man fetish. You know, I've discovered that. And I'm at the point now where I'm just like, screw it. I'm not, you know, if they want to accompany me to an event, do something with me, go to a conference with me, travel with me, that's fine. But as far as till death do us part forever, I don't think there's any till death do us part women left in this world. I think if she's got a cell phone and running water, you're fucking screwed. My opinion. I'm not going to lie to you here. This ain't bullshit. What's my opinion on dating apps nowadays to find women? Do you think it's worth pursuing just for some fun, or avoid it if you want something serious? How many men are checking her out on a dating app? And if you get along well, when do you have the talk and say, you know what, let's be exclusive? Because guess what? Let's say she met 20 men in her period of time on online dating. Out of those 20 men, she probably fucked 4 to 5 of them. Okay. And those men are now friends. Whenever a woman says, I got this friend, basically he's a former fuck buddy that didn't turn out and work into a relationship. Most of the men in women's phones are not platonic friends. They are either former fuck buddies or someone who can be, who's always on the line. They're guys that got friend zoned that don't have enough balls to walk away from. You know how many women I walked away from just kind of hoping? You know what's powerful is the possibility of sex. I remember Ellen Roger Curry talking about that. A lot of men just hang out with women for the possibility of sex. That's it. And that's all they need. We just can't believe, you know, that a woman would spend time with us. And we buy dinners and go to movies and do things and buy gifts. And then when we want a little action, they're like, yeah, well, we're just friends. But you always have that little thing in the back of your head. So you keep her in your phone. I remember about 7 years ago telling 3 women I'm not interested, because I'm tired of, I just don't want to be friends. I'm tired of the friend zone shit. Literally, and I haven't talked to them in 7 years. 7 years. For those like me who grew up in Italy, I can see how Catholicism is seen quite differently elsewhere as something exotic or pure. I'd say a woman being Catholic has nothing positive by default. I have never met a pure woman in my life, never. And I don't say that from a position of purity. I don't say it because I'm pure. I'm just making an observation. I've never met a pure woman. The last time I knew a virgin, I was a young teenager. After about 13, 14 years old, you don't know any virgins. They don't exist. They don't exist. So we have to kind of like lower our standards. You know, you got these MGTOW guys that are like the no hymen, no diamond guys. I get that. You know, I mean, when you look at in days of old, when a young man would work for a father for his daughter, think about even in biblical times, that was a thing. You want her, she's going to cost you something. She's going to cost you some cows and sheep and cost you some money and some baskets of gold. You better work your ass off. And fathers knew they could get more money. It's not that, and we're not talking selling slaves here. Let's get real. Okay, so calm your ass down, feminists. This is the way it was done. A man would be more proud of her because she's a virgin. A father could get more from a young man for a virgin than he can for one who is not a virgin. If she was the town bicycle and everybody rode her and then became the town joint and got passed around like a joint, he's going to get less and less and less and then be happy to get rid of her. And then she's going to be the town 304 and be a Jezebel. Greetings from Dubai. The content is spot on. I've slept with a few virgins in their 20s and 30s. You never met a pure woman. You haven't met me. You have no idea. Little Red Rose, you're not using your picture or your name. And you're probably 13 years old. And we don't speak to minors here. That's one of the things we don't do. So if you're a lady, be a lady. Show your face and your name. Period is that. Otherwise, you're just trolling men. Telling them you want to build something together is like saying, I love you. It scares them away like deer. This generation is way too brainwashed. Don't blame her, blame the system. Well, Proverbs says a wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman tears down her house. Holy crap. I keep meeting women who want to tear their house down. They tear it down. They don't want to use their wisdom. When I see young women kind of going trad, I'm like, go, girl. You know, it's never too late. Go, do it. Women have confessed to me that they were brainwashed by feminism. They told me that. And then they were attracted to a strong, independent man, conservative man with traditional values who wasn't a sexual degenerate and a pig. I've had women like that. And then eventually they burn their damn house down. Because they have no self-control. The scripture talks about women having self-control. Montana bans CCP-controlled TikTok. Women are outraged. Yeah, exactly, because they can't shake their ass anymore for 30 seconds. Women never got more attention in their life than on TikTok or OnlyFans. Like Rio says, I blame myself for wasting time watching TV and playing video games more than talking to women. Better to learn late than never. That is true. That is absolutely true. Namaste from India, and you as well. Workout tips. Thank you for the workout tips. Today I'm going to have a full workout. My full workout will start out like this. I don't do a lot of warming up. Basically my exercises are warming up. Let me tell you exactly what my workout is. And I'm going to put it together on video, and you too, no matter what your age, will be able to benefit from it. I get to the gym and I get on the pec deck and I do 12 reps with 70 to 100 pounds. And from what I know to be true about the pec deck is you use the pec deck like you're giving somebody a hug. You don't keep your hands straight. It's not like you're a seal clapping your hands. You don't do that, okay? You pretend you're giving somebody a big hug. So you have your hands like this on the grips, and your elbows are bent, and you're 1, 2, but you do it in a 4 count. I do 12 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. At number 12, I do 1 rep and hold it for 12 seconds. And I am quivering, shaking like a leaf in the wind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 1 exercise. I go to the next exercise, which is a chest press. I'm telling you my exact workout, so write this shit down, okay? I put on 70 pounds and no more. And it's a chest press. It's a sitting up chest press. And I take the handles, and it's the kind of machine where the handles go towards the center. So it's like this. 1, 4 count, okay? When I say 4 count, that means it takes 4 counts to the end of the exercise, 4 counts back. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do 12 of those. I go from there to a incline dumbbell press. 1, 2, and I do 12. Those are the 3 exercises I do for chest. I go from there to shoulders, dumbbells. 1, 2, 3, and I do 12 of those. And then I don't rest in between. I go from exercise to exercise, and I'm in and out in an hour. And then I do front raises. So I go like this. I have dumbbells, and I go 1, 1, like lateral raises, like this, lateral, 1, front raises, 2, 2, and I do 12 of those. All right, right there, I just did 3 exercises for shoulders. And then finally, the last one is I take dumbbells at the weight that is comfortable for me and challenges me, and I do my shoulder shrugs. Let me show you how I do those. Like this. I take the dumbbells, and I start out behind me, and I go 1, 2, 3. Okay? So now I got chest, shoulders. Then I go to an easy curl bar, and I do my curls. 1, 2, 3, and I do 12 of those. Then I go to a preacher bench machine, literally no resting in between. And I'm laying down on that preacher bench. 1, 2, and I do 12 of those. And then I go over to, and that's using both arms. And then I go over to another preacher bench machine where I do concentration curls. And that is the bench, and I just take the weight that I use, and I bring it up slowly. Like that. That's biceps. Now I go to triceps, and I do kind of a tricep push down on a machine that looks like a preacher bench. You sit on it, you go like this, and I'm doing this. 1, 2, 3, using 100 pounds. And then from there, I go to what looks like a seat that you sit in, but you're pushing down and you're almost like doing dips. So you sit down in this machine, you grab these handles, and you push down, and then it's just like push down. 1, 2, and I do that. And then I go over to a cable machine with a big dark rope with 2 knots on the end. And then I just basically am doing tricep extensions. So I'm standing up in front of the machine, just going 1, 2, 3, 12 reps of that. Then from there, I go to a sitting rowing position with the handles that are kind of like this. So I grab them like this. Hi, handsome boy. That's Daddy's good boy. That's Daddy's good boy. You being a good boy? Did you have a good sleep? Gotta love your animals. So I sit down and I take anywhere between 70 and 100 pounds. And it's not about the weight. It's not about the weight. Okay? It's about form and concentration. So I'm sitting down at a cable machine, a seated row, and I do a close grip. So I'm sitting down, my legs are out in front of me, and I'm pulling right to my chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I do 12. And then I do a lat pull down, but I do not use the bar that's like this wide. I use the bar that's this wide. 7,200 pounds, grab it, and I'm looking up. 1, 2, 3. I do 12 of those. I go right from there to a leg press machine, and I do 20 reps on that. Super, super slow. My legs are quivering. I can hardly walk. People look at me like I have a disease or something. I literally am holding on to stuff, holding onto machines and on the wall as I'm going to the next exercise after that. So I literally, feet about shoulder width, toes pointed out a little bit, and my leg press. I'm using my arms right now, obviously, but my legs, okay, 20 of these. 1, 2, and I bring it all the way back, And then I do 20, for lack of a better term, calf raises. So basically, I don't know if I can show it here. I take the same machine. I don't even get off that machine, and I lower my feet. So just like the balls of my feet are on the edge of that, that big square platform that you're pushing on with your feet to do leg presses, I bring my foot down right to the edge of it and I push forward. And those are my calf exercises. And my calves kick ass. I have that heart-shaped calf that has that nice shape into it. Very strong legs. And I do that. And then I go from there over to Roman chair. And I do 10 of these. Like I'm on the Roman chair, and I raise both legs up, both knees up. Okay, I do that. I do that 10 times. And then I turn sideways and I bring my legs up on the side 10 times. Okay, turn over like this on the side, same thing, legs up on the side. Total of 30. And then from there, I go over to a dip bar and I take a resistance band, I put it across the dip bar, I put one knee on the resistance band, and then I do 10 dips. And then I go over to that same dip bar, I lower it down to about the height of a kitchen table, and I have workout gloves on. I always wear workout gloves. And I put my hands on the end of the bars, and then I do 10 push-ups. I always do 10. I end my workout with 10 push-ups. So it's like 1, 2, like that, and I do 10. Now I do all of that sets, one set of 12 with all of those things, and I am jacked. When I go in the locker room, I can just like start creating a pose, and everything just looks really good. In and out in 1 hour. 1 hour. That's it. Many times less than an hour. That is my workout. 2 to 3 times a week. I'm going to go to 4 times a week probably because I feel now like I'm in competition with Father Michael Butler. That's the way that works. Yep. Roman chair is awesome. Melissa says, my trainer told me I have great calves. I told her, thanks. It's because I'm 5'1" and constantly have to be on my tiptoes here. That's funny. That's funny. That's true. I think all of us have natural stuff. I know some guys that have skinny arms. Man, like twigs. For me, honestly, I can get in the gym, pump iron. All of a sudden, these arms just get like massive. My arms and shoulders are the absolute easiest to build. Absolute easiest. Strong, solid, nothing flabby on them. I mean, they're like a rock. Guess what? It ain't hard work for me. It ain't hard work. What's hard work for me? The belly. That's the hard work. The layer of fat on my body. That's the hard work. Legs, no problem. Working glutes, no problem. Chest, no problem. Shoulders are always kicking ass. Back looks great. Everything looks good. Hardest thing for me, belly. That's it. That's it. Yep. Elbows glued to your side when curling. It's basic stuff. Dads, uncles should have told their younglings when they're mature enough. I had learned it with the help of gym bros. Yeah. Gym bros are so helpful. Seriously, gym bros really, you know what's so funny? Like when you see someone who's like really super confident in the gym, you like your first reaction is like they don't want to talk to me because most of the time they got their headphones on or they got the earbuds in. I have found, unless someone's like a real dick, most people are willing to help you work out. If someone says to me, "Do you know how to use this machine?" I'd be like, "Yes. Let me show you exactly what you need to do. Pull the pen out. This is how you should set the seat. This is where you should put your hands on the bar. This is how many reps you should do. This is how you should do it. This is how you should concentrate. Do you think you got it down? Show me a rep or two." And I supervise it. I'm like, "Good, you did good. That's how you do it. If you need any more help, I'll be over there." And that's how I am at the gym. But that's how I have found other people to be on a pretty regular basis. You can lose the belly by jogging twice a week for 5K. I don't jog. I hate jogging. When you're older, you don't want to jog. You just don't want to jog. I'm just careful of, I'd rather walk and walk hills than jog. I just hate jogging with a passion. Repetition more than weight. What do you think? Yes, absolutely. But focused repetition. Focused. I can sit there with 100 pounds trying to curl. Like that ain't gonna work. You know what I would rather take? I would rather take 50 pounds. I would rather take 50 pounds and have this be my curl. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not go all the way down. 4 ends about here. I'd rather do 12 reps of that with an easy curl bar with 50 pounds. That will jack my arms up. If I do that for a week, people everywhere are like, "Dude, what's with the guns? What's with the arms, man? Looks like there's a gun show today." The joke is. Good morning, Stefan. What supplements do I use? Right now, I only use creatine. That is it. That is it. I eat good. I don't need anything else. In the wintertime, I'm usually taking vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc. What else do I take? Got my box of vitamins right over there. During like cold, flu-ish season, I'm taking the quercetin, NAC, B12, that kind of stuff. The bike and walking hills, less impact for knees. Yes, absolutely. I don't have any trouble with my knees, but I'll tell you what, I don't want trouble with my knees. I know when it comes to shoulders, when I was younger, you hurt a shoulder, my God, you just ice it in your back within a couple days. Now you hurt a shoulder, you could be literally going from using 45-pound dumbbells to using 5-pound dumbbells if you hurt your shoulder. You got to be good to your shoulders. You got to be good. Good morning, John Hoover. Replace the jogging with a stationary bike for 45 minutes 3 times a week with heart rate above 120 for the belly. Fact. One of my favorite YouTubers, Paul Ravella. You guys should be watching Paul Ravella. Paul is about 10 years younger than me, but he's an amateur natural bodybuilder. And you know how he cuts? He cuts 100% through treadmill work. All he does, he cuts on a treadmill. That's all he does. He does his work with weights, but on a treadmill, that's everything. That's all his cutting on a treadmill. Now, Father Michael Butler, who I had on the show, wow, I mean, he's going to get down to 3% body fat. What? 3%, to the point where, now check this out. He said by the time, not 3%, 5%. He says by the time you get down to 5%, you have 3 millimeters of fat on your belly. What? 3 millimeters of fat? I'm trying to think what 3 millimeters is. Let's just take, like the average box, just like a box. Okay. Think about this right here. How thick that cardboard is. That's 3 millimeters. Can you imagine your skin on your belly being 3 millimeters? Holy crap. Back in the 70s, they used to talk about Special K cereal. And they'd say, if you can't, you should be able to, if you're going to pinch an inch, you need to be eating Special K. I can pinch more than an inch in my belly. Now, I don't have a lot of fat here. I have nothing here. I mean, I can hardly grab the skin here. Hardly grab it. Here, hardly grab the skin. Just, my arms are just solid meat. That's all they are. No fat whatsoever. Shoulders, solid meat. Can't pinch even a little bit. Belly, that's embarrassing. I can pinch, right now, I can pinch 1.5 inches, right around my belly button, 1.5 inches. A little off to the side, I can go to 1 inch. On the very sides of my belly, my obliques, a little less than 1 inch, but right in the middle, that belly button area, that's about a good 1.5 inches. That's too much. Losing that would get me from a 34-inch waist. I got myself down to a 34-inch waist. I could easily get myself down to a 32-inch waist. I'd be happy with that. Right now, I wear a 42-inch regular sport coat. I'm very happy with that. I love being slim, trim, and muscular. I love it. I don't want to get any more than that. So if I get down to a 30-inch waist, or I'm sorry, 32-inch, a 32-inch waist, the difference between your waist and your chest measurement should be 10 to 12 inches for that nice V shape, for that nice aesthetic look. 34-inch waist, 32-inch waist, go down to a 32-inch waist with a 42 or 43-inch chest. You're perfect. Perfect. It's got nothing to do with the scale. Forget the scale. Scale is an afterthought. You know what you should be? The most effective thing that you have is this right here. You know what that is? That's called a tape measure. Tape measure is what you should be using to measure yourself, not a scale. People stepping on the scale is very, very deceptive. You can lose 20 pounds. Now, Father Michael Butler and I think I'm just a tiny bit taller than him, not much taller than him. I am 196 pounds. And the reason why I am is because I'm taking creatine, and that just helps you retain water. That's all. That is it. Without creatine, it might be 194, 193, something like that. He is now at 181. I can't even imagine being at 181. If I was at 181, I wouldn't even look like me. I wouldn't even look like myself. Wouldn't even look like it. The reality is when it comes to losing weight, I'll never forget talking to a guy who was about my age, gray hair, gray beard. He had abs. And I said to him, how do you do it, man? How do you do it? Because my belly has always been something that plagued me since I was, I'd say, in my mid-40s. That was always the hardest thing. Whenever I put on weight at the belly first. Whenever I lost weight, weight from the belly would be the first to go. But for me, the belly is what makes me feel old and sluggish. When I lose the belly, I feel young, fast, virile, and ready to rock. This guy said to me, he says, abs, two things. Abs begin in the kitchen, and two, you can't out-train a bad diet. I was hoping he was going to give me some kind of special workout routine. If you do this exercise just the right way, you're going to get a stomach that looks just like this. It's like you should do your sit-ups like this, and then when you get to the top, hold it, flex them. You know what I mean? Like, give me a technique. No, it was not about that. You know what it was about? What I put in my damn mouth. Abs begin in the kitchen. You can't out-train a bad diet. I got bummed out from that because I thought there was a secret. I thought there was a hack. There was some kind of life hack for that, an ab hack. There is no stomach or ab hack. The only hack that there is keeping your mouth shut and putting the right stuff in it. That's all. Belt buckles don't lie. Melissa says the best workout is whatever you can do for 30 to 60 minutes, 3 times a week without saying, screw this, I'd rather be fat. I like that. 2 or 3 times a week, in and out of the gym in less than an hour is my ideal. John Hoover says, I think the average person over 65 should be strong enough and flexible enough to get up by themselves unassisted. That is true. Muhammad says, Christoph, I was emotionally attached to her. She cheated on me very badly. Cheating hurts. It sucks. Wolf's Lair says, cutting out beer is a basic tip for the fellas. Just way too much carbs. I might have 1 beer a year. I used to go out twice a week and have 2 22-ounce beers and a big plate of hot wings. I just love hot wings and dipping them in blue cheese and eating celery and drinking a beer and listening to the band. Your typical biker bar fare, that kind of stuff. I was okay with that. And then it just got to the point where, I would walk out feeling full. You have 22 ounces of Yingling lager. And you might as well just eat like a loaf of bread. I would have a tall beer. You get 2 of those. I can't even drink that much water, let alone that much beer. What if someone said, let me give you 2 22-ounce glasses of water? I'd be there for a week. It would take me a week to finish them. With beer, gone. John Boston says, George, I have to go 0 carb to get my belly to go away. That is true. That is true. Domenico says, being fit is good, but don't you think we also have to have realistic expectations, especially as we grow older? I go to the gym 5 to 6 times a week. I think 4 times a week is enough. And you should be if you go 4 times a week, you should be in and out in 40 minutes, 45 minutes at the most, if you want to build. If you want to maintain and just stay, if you want to get trim and then just maintain, you can do that by going twice a week doing high intensity exercises. But if you want to build a little bit and look a little bit more healthy and badass and be able to deal with stuff and have more muscle to burn away stress in your life, having muscle helps you burn away stress. Let's not underestimate do not underestimate the power of muscle to melt away stress. When I went through a breakup, the only thing that helped me was working out. I had to force myself to do it. Otherwise, I just wanted to just stick around. Couldn't pay attention to anything, smoke a pipe, watch TV, drink whiskey, do nothing, be lazy, keep the shades drawn in the house. Not interested in that. Getting out of the house, working on the muscles, dissipates the pain and all that. It does something to the brain. It helps release dopamine and healing chemicals for the confusion that you are feeling and the anger, because we can't get over the fact that someone divorced us or left us. Simple as that. We're just insulted and hurt and angry at the same time. That three braided cord of disappointment, anger, shock, that is one hell of a whooping to take. That does fucking numbers on a man. A woman will have 10 guys coming to her rescue as she's going through any kind of heartache. And of course, they all want to fuck her. When men are going through this shit, we fucking suffer. We fucking suffer. We hurt bad. We isolate the fuck out of ourselves. We operate on anger. We get all kinds of nonsense from other people, who hurt you and all this kind of stuff. And that's supposed to be a bad thing. Who hurt you? Who, like, that is someone's way of insulting you. Do not let people insult you with the words who hurt you. Because what that's doing is we are minimizing the effect of hurt on our lives. We are fucking vulnerable. We get hurt. I know men that would rather get punched in the face than get broken up with. Why? Because at least you can put some ice on this thing. And a bruise will eventually go away, but getting broken up with hurts like a motherfucker and drives us fucking crazy, and we can't concentrate. Punch me in the fucking face. Go for it. Be done with it. Breaking up is like getting your fucking arm gnawed off by 1,000 rodents. It hurts. It sucks. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Intermittent fasting works wonders on belly fat combined with low carb and at least 10,000 steps a day. That works beautifully. I have been fit and in shape my entire life, but after a recent breakup, I gained some fat around the abs and love handles due to depression. You're not fucking depressed. You're discouraged. That right there is going to be very, very transformative for you. You are not depressed. You are discouraged. Will my metabolism still hold up? I'm a naturally slim dude. Be careful not to get skinny fat. Be careful not to get skinny fat. Out of topic, can I talk about the picture on the wall? That right there is a rooster on the wall. Things are going great in my life right now. When things are not going great in my life and in the world, that rooster goes crooked. When things are totally fucked up in the world and bombs are going off and all kinds of shit is happening, I put that picture upside down. There's always 3 to 5 different little clues about something when I go live. I always have a picture of Jesus Christ in the forefront of this daybreak show, always. Sometimes it's in the back. Today, it's up front. Women compartmentalize and forget quite quickly. Men reason over life as a whole and tend not to forget past relationships. I think it is why men write poetry, not women, by and large. Okay. John Hoover says, fencing is great for anger. Once the masks go down, that person across the strip can be anyone you are pissed off with. Respiration Divine says, hello, George from Dallas, Texas. Getting ready to go to the gym. Mike Rios, that emotional pain helps build character and a thicker skin from experience. Simon says, courage is the key for every lock. Perez says, I've always lifted weights, but going full carnivore was the biggest change for me monumentally. Same here. Byron says, good morning. I'm just soaking in the information. Respiration says, I have a Greek Orthodox painting of Jesus Christ. It's awesome. Joker says, I'm happy I could pick up on your symbolic hints that you drop. Defender of Justice asks, have you ever had an issue where if you lift too heavy, it messes up your ability to fall asleep at night? I notice that happens when I'm under a lot of stress. Never had it in the past, and I'm 39. I never lift to the point where it causes me pain. It's the same thing with food. I like spicy food, but I don't want to cry. Like, I like Indian food. I love Indian food. But what I don't want to do is sit there and have sweat dripping off my forehead and my eyes crying because the food is so hot. I don't want food to cause me pain. Do I like hot, spicy food? Yes, to a point. After that, it's just painful. I'm like, bring me my milk. Working out is the same way. I work out just enough where I am barely walking out of the gym. When I walk out of the gym, I'm limping out. I'm limping. Sometimes I just like touch the wall as I walk out of the gym just to stay upright so I don't walk like a drunk man because I am so fatigued. I do not rest in between sets. I go literally the workout that I showed you. I do that back to back to back to back. I do not fuck around. I put in the Bose Sport Buds, put on my playlist, and I bust my ass hard. So by the time I'm done, I'll go into the red light therapy room. I let the red light do its thing on my skin, reducing the fine lines and wrinkles and building up the collagen in my skin. I do that 2 to 3 times a week. And I walk out of there limping, like I'm just learning how to use my new legs. John says, I think I'm weird. I hate just working out. But if I'm in a sport or have an objective like a hiking trip, I think it's a discipline issue. Behavior that gets rewarded gets repeated. I work out for my health. I check my blood glucose level before I work out and after I work out. And when the number goes down, that reinforces the workout for me. Makes me want to go do it again. The picture of our Lord on your window pane is the icon that holds one of the clues to the authenticity of the Shroud of Turin, Christ the Redeemer. I like that you have it there. Yes, I like it there too. Christ will always be present in this broadcast. If people don't like it, then they got to go somewhere else. That's just the way it is. It's just my thing. It's part of who I am. If you like that, awesome. If you don't, I'm not changing for you. I'm not here to put down my Lord or keep him absent. I led a shitty life when Christ was not front and center in my life. I led a very shitty life. And by shitty, I mean sexually degenerate. So many areas of my life I've had my ducks in a row. The areas where I haven't were when I was a sexual degenerate. Now, that doesn't mean perversion. That just means fucking a lot of women at the most and just getting blowjobs at the least. And I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that. I want one woman, one wife, and I want something to build. I'm not interested in wasting one more fucking minute with a woman who doesn't want to build anything. Proverbs talks about a wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman tears it down. And I keep meeting woman after woman after woman who is a fucking demolition expert. Absolute demolition expert. Which the women who want to build are rare. And as a guy who wants to be married and still crank out a couple kids, I'm having a fucking hard time. Fucking hard time. Oh my God. It's harder now than it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It's nearly fucking impossible. Impossible. Be true to your teeth or they will be false to you. That's true. That's a good line. Ash says, I've been a sexual degenerate my entire life as well. I'm just glad Christ wasn't present for most of it. He would have been disgusted. I get that. I 100% get that. I think lifting too heavy may cause adrenaline release, which would affect sleep. Yeah, I never work out before I go to bed. That's one thing I don't do. I don't work out and then come home and go to sleep. I like the last hour of my day with the lights down a little bit low. I might be puffing on a pipe. I might be having half of a cocktail, because if you have too much, then that's a false sleep, and then you wake up 2 hours later. I want to sleep throughout the night. When I lay my head down on my pillow, I want to go out fast, and I don't want to wake up until 4 o'clock, and that's exactly what happened last night. Let's see. These demolitions by women are shit tests that are now enabled and encouraged by the state via divorce court. Before, you could just give her the old Sean Connery when she acted up. Would I marry a woman with a child, considering the fact that women your age would mostly have been married? I'm not looking for a woman my age. Not interested in that. I'm looking for a young woman that has a uterus that still works and has not been pounded by 50 penises. I'm looking for a woman who is not on hormonal birth control. I'm tired of that fucking roller coaster personality. Up one day, down the next. I love you next day. I hate you the next day. A woman who is on hormonal birth control is a sex addict. She wants all of the fun, but doesn't want the responsibility. She's short-circuiting the power that a man injects in her. We think it's just semen, just some milky substance. That is filled with life, electricity, power, life. And it reaches an egg, and it penetrates that egg and creates life. There's literally a spark that happens. When we deposit it in a woman who is on hormonal birth control, we are literally shorting out. It's like taking a wire and just touching the two wires together, and poof, it shorts out, and then all the lights go out. And that's what you've been doing if you're just emptying your seed inside of a woman who is not able to be impregnated. Hormonal birth control doesn't affect just a woman's eggs and cycle. It affects her mind. I'm old enough to have seen that thousands of times. Do not go out with a woman who has hormonal birth control. Don't do it. Every woman I've ever known who's on hormonal birth control has somehow broken my heart. Somehow, some way. Cold motherfuckers. Hormonal birth control fucks up a woman's head. Stop it. Just fucking stop it. So no, I am not looking for a woman my age. I'm looking for a woman who is still of childbearing years. George, at our age, you're leaving out the big M, the menopause. Yes, exactly. I would rather meet a woman who is pre-menopausal. This beef tallow in the coffee. Now that it's light out, let me show this to you. I get this jar of Wagyu beef tallow. It looks like vanilla pudding. I don't know if you can see that. That's freaking awesome. You put 1 tablespoon in your coffee. You don't taste it. It's not like you're having beef flavored coffee. You don't even taste it. You don't even, it's not even perceptible. But what it is, it satiates you. It gives you energy, and you don't have to eat breakfast or meal number 1 until mid-morning or even lunch. So what I already had, 2 cups of coffee with cream, beef tallow, I'm good until lunchtime. Do you think it's hypocritical to want a woman with few partners when you've had slept with many? No, because I'll tell you why. Men and women are different. We process promiscuity different. A man who's been with a man who has deposited his seed into 20 women is different than a woman who's had 20 men deposit his seed in her. She absorbs a man's seed. Look that up. There's a scientific reason. Women lose the ability to bond with a man after about 4 sex partners, 4 different men. After that, a woman will look at you with blank zombie eyes. She will compare your dick to every other dick that's been inside of her. Women don't just receive a penis in between their legs. Most women start out sex with oral sex. So how many dicks in a woman's mouth is enough? I'm the only person I know on YouTube talking about that. People say, well, I don't want a woman that's been with 20 guys. You don't want a woman that's sucked 20 dicks. That's what it is. Every time you kiss a woman who's been with other men, you are being slightly homosexual in the sense that you are ingesting another man's seed. Sounds extreme, sounds weird, but it's a fact. Men and women are different. We process everything different, from anger to promiscuity to weight loss to happiness. Everything. Absolutely fucking everything. How many dicks in her mouth is enough? I told one client that, and it just changed everything for him. Everything. Sounds funny, I know, but it's true. I've been with women who've been with a lot of guys. The pretty girl privilege, the girl who just men listen to all the time. She tells her bullshit, her astrology, her horoscope, her meaning in life, and all the shit like that. And guys are just like listening to her. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then they do everything to get into her pants. Everything. Otherwise, you would never fucking listen 5 seconds to a woman and her bullshit. It's like, get naked, suck my dick, and let's fuck. And then go home. Because I got to get up early tomorrow. God, that sounds horrible, doesn't it? It sounds mean, cold, heartless. But I don't want to listen to a woman's bullshit at all. Make me fucking dinner. Let's talk. Let's clink wine glasses. Let's make love. Let's kind of fall asleep. I'll wake up and I'll go back down to my house down the street. And if you need me, call me. You need shit done around the house, I'll help you. Let's go take a trip together. Let's be comfortable with each other. Let's go to art shows. Let's go to car shows, motorcycle shows. Hold my arm as we walk. If you're not in the mood, I will tuck you into bed, kiss you, say goodnight, and I'll call you tomorrow. Simple as that. Don't fucking complicate my life. You're supposed to make my dick hard, not my life hard. Cold, hard truth, my brother. My last ex-girlfriend had lost count of how many men she had slept with, verbatim what she told me, and she was on hormonal birth control. Recipe for disaster. I hope I knew better before committing. Good. Astrology is BS. That's correct. Was mid deadlift at the slightly homosexual comment. What the hell? Sometimes I throw shit out just for effect. Do I really mean that? I don't know, but you understand what I'm saying. If a woman has just like sucked dick for 20 years, okay, you can bet she's absorbed some of that shit. Do you really want to be kissing those lips that have embraced another man's dick? Come on, and swallowed his seed. You go into most women's bedrooms with a black light. Think about it. Let's say you're at a chick's house and she goes to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And she's in the bathroom. You take out your black light and shine it around. That fucking bedroom will glow like a god-darn crime scene. There have been more men spray painting that friggin' bedroom and those sheets than you can count. There's more DNA in that zoo than you can imagine. Melissa, if you're full of shit, I will tell you, but I'll read you out loud here. I would rather take my direction from the one who created the stars than the stars themselves. You sound like a fucking Hallmark card, Melissa. You sound unrealistic. And that's the shit that us men have to deal with, is your unrealistic bullshit. And I don't mean that as a hit or an insult. But what the fuck you just said means absolutely nothing to any man anywhere. We don't buy your poetry. We don't go for it. It's bullshit. Holy shit, call CSI Miami. That's right. Now, I say that with all due respect. I try, some of the stuff I try to be funny. Come on. I mean, this is not like the biological science hour. Some of the stuff I'm just trying to be funny, as you can imagine. Yeah, go back to your tarot card reading. Exactly. Hey, I welcome men and women here. I don't care. But the thing is this, I'm not going to kiss your ass and validate you if you come up with some bullshit. When people come to me for coaching, they pay me to be an asshole. We set goals, hard deadlines, and accountability. I don't fucking mess around with you. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I want to help you get to your goal, period. Just like I want to get to my goals. I can't date you unless your star sign is asparagus. Yeah, exactly. I think we are in a bit of an echo chamber here in this chat. Most of what we talk about is now considered toxic masculinity, and the average woman today doesn't like that, sadly. What do you think? I like echo chambers. Echo chambers, what do they say? Repetition is the mother of learning. Masculinity is so criticized in today's society. Men and women aren't the same, period. They aren't. They're not the same. And let's stop pretending that they are. Let's just stop it. Please. Just fucking stop it. So if you come here to hear goal talk. We talk about your goals. We talk about positive relationships and solutions. We don't want to just bitch about women and relationships. If we can't come up with solutions, then this is just a bitchy channel. This is just a feminine channel where we just fucking bitch and moan. And I'm not going to let that happen. We only talk about solutions here. We talk about how to be trimmer and healthier, tips and motivations on how to make more money, to work smart. I say to you, welcome to the bright side, because you're only going to get this here. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to hand it to you, but it's going to be wrapped in love. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to impress you. I want to motivate you. I want you to develop discipline. As been said a million times, whenever a woman says, I love you, in your head, add the words for now. That's how we started. I love you for now. It's always for now. 12 hours later, it can all change. If you know, you know. It's better for a man to hear, I appreciate you, or I respect you, than to hear, I love you. As I said earlier in the week, the red pill and the manosphere doesn't take into account demonic possession and oppression. A woman stringing together dick after dick, man after man, without marrying and procreating, is under the subtle control of satanic worldly influence. Short-circuiting pregnancy with birth control is absolutely fucking satanic. The majority of women out there get their breasts suckled by boyfriend after boyfriend after boyfriend when they should be being suckled by a baby. Period. Your breasts are meant to please your man, aesthetically beautiful. Rejoice in the wife of your youth. May her breasts bring you comfort and happiness. May you be intoxicated with her love. Scripture says that's fine. Breasts are for feeding babies, period. If a woman's uterus for the past 25 years just gets pounded by various rods of flesh, your uterus is meant to have something come out of it, not stuff constantly going into it. And then you short circuit it with hormonal birth control. Fucking shame on you. Instead of being a cum dumpster, a cum dumpster, and being a receptacle, use that uterus for what it was designed for. That is to create a baby. Babies are supposed to be coming out of it, not penises going into it. There should be one penis going into it, not 20 penises going into it over a period of 20, 25, 30 years. No wonder no man wants you. Men have to suppress so much mentally because they think about the amount of dicks that have been in your mouth and been in your uterus. We don't want that. We're not interested in that. Women's love is conditional. Women's love is fickle, like the weather on the ocean. That's why she's like the sea. I hope you learned something. We've been on the air for 2.5 hours. The sun is out. When I first started, it was dark out. I said some really, really rough things to men and women. Men and women both got hammered today. But guess what? There's a mirror here. And I'm talking to myself, not just to you. This is not a condemnation session. This was a motivational session, a discipline session, and a mirror session for me. I'm not just preaching to you, I'm preaching to me. And having some coffee in the process. George, are you more salty since the last time I tuned in? I like it. It's not that I'm more salty. It's just that I am telling the truth. I am telling the truth. And the truth always comes across as salty. Always. It always comes across as salty. Breasts nowadays are used to garner likes on social media. That is true. Do I ever regret wasting my seed in the past? I always regret wasting my seed in the past. I used to have a bedroom that looked like a CSI crime scene. Wash my sheets every day. There were years that I fucked 3 different women a week. 0 issues. Go to a bar, go to a party, go somewhere. Always personable, smiling, fun, flirty, whatever. Looking good, smelling good. Always ended up with a woman at home. Always. Always, always, always. I've kicked more women out telling them I got to get up early. Oh, can we just stay and cuddle a little bit? Yeah, I got to get up early. If it happened to be a weekend, then I'd make you breakfast on the next day. If it snowed heavily, I'd be out there scraping the snow and the ice off your windshield, start your car up, warm it up, that kind of thing. That was kind of like the transactional thing. You know, we fuck all night and then I basically take the snow and ice off your car and warm it up before you go and make you breakfast and maybe give you a travel mug with coffee. That's what my life was like when I was younger. What a fucked up life that is. What a fucked up life. My grandparents are from the southern part of Italy, my paternal grandparents. My maternal grandparents are from Russia. That is where the Russian Orthodox flavor sometimes comes in, because I used to go to a Russian Orthodox church. What has sparked my recent bluntness while speaking the truth? Absolutely. I've always spoke this way. When I record a daybreak show, you'll notice it's sound bites, video bites, and then a dark transition, and then another scene, and then a transition, then a scene. Very, very together, very scripted. Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method. The only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. Nice. And then I start my thing, transition, transition, transition. And then I end 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later by saying, and with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason. That is a typical Daybreak Show. A live Daybreak Show like this, there's no editing whatsoever. So you're getting everything raw, 100% raw. So what you perceive as being bluntness is basically the lack of editing. I've always been the same. It's just that there's no editing right now. And what happens is, for people who are new, they might think I'm an angry guy. I'm not an angry guy. It's just that I would edit out some of the more blunt statements in the past. When I'm live, I just let it rip. It's easier to rinse off than to rinse out. I have less of an issue with non-virgins than with single moms, trying to be realistic. To understand women, you would have to be more feminine. Control will be your biggest mistake. You're a decent guy and make good money. Why is it you can't get a wife? I don't know why. I've done everything I can do. I am a decent guy. I make good money. I have a good life. I have a good lifestyle. A woman that I marry would have a very nice life. I have had a lot of introspection. A lot of introspection. I had a girlfriend for about 4 years. And hello, good boy. It's almost breakfast time, isn't it? Yes, it is. Got to feed the critters. When you're together with a woman and things, and she breaks up with you and does nothing but compliment you, which is what happened to me, you can't help but be a little bit cynical because you wasted so much fucking time and you're tired of wasting time. And for a guy that wanted to be married and have kids, I'm not supposed to be fucking nice when I get broken up with. You know, I'm a gentleman, but when someone destroys a house, a wise woman builds her house, a foolish woman tears her house down. I literally experienced a woman tearing my house down. Am I supposed to be, woo? Am I supposed to be happy about that and celebrate? Fuck that. You're supposed to be angry. You deny your emotions. You don't deny your emotions, you delay them. You delay the emotions. So you know how I delay my emotions? On the bench, with dumbbells, with barbells, lifting weights. That's how I get my anger out. If I did not lift weights, this house would be filled with holes in the walls and broken windows and smashed plates. Because anger is a destructive force. It's an energy that's just waiting to be used. How do you want to use that energy? Do you want to use it to build muscle, or do you want to use it to punch holes in walls and be bitchy to people and kick the dog and be angry at work and have a short fuse everywhere you go? That is why I think that working out is a form of therapy for every man. The International House of Gains. That is correct. You are too much of a free thinker, an independent thinker for the standard woman. Possibly, I don't know. I have no idea. It's because marriage is for suckers. That's why he doesn't have a wife. That's not true. That's not true. I do desire to have a wife, and I do desire to have, I would love to be able to start a new family if I could. You never heard me talk like this, but you know what? Wishing and hoping and keeping it silent and crossing my fingers that will happen. Fuck that. Screw that. And I'm not going to go and meet a chick in a bar. That ain't going to happen. That will not be happening. I'm not meeting a woman in a bar who is there who could possibly meet 5 guys. I'm not going to meet a woman in a bar who was giving in that same parking lot was sucking a guy's dick a week earlier. Not going to do that. Not going to meet a woman in a bar. I'm going to meet a woman on social media somehow, some way. That's how I increase the surface area of my outreach. That is it. We got Timmy Kramer, the Forever Bachelor, that's with us. What's up, Timmy? What's going on, my brother? Good morning, Sultan. Enjoying my coffee right now. About to go to the train and lift weights after. I totally get that. It is now 7:20. God, we've been live for over 2 hours. I think I started at 5 o'clock. I will be taking a shower, feeding the critters. I'm not going to work out before I go to my part-time job cutting hair. Today I have, I don't know, maybe a half dozen clients cutting their hair on Thursdays. That's what I'm going to do. I have to go to the gym after that and unload some anger. Here comes my little boy. Hey, little boy, you're hungry, aren't you? If I don't work out, that frustration and that anger is going to do bad things in my body, and I don't want that to happen. It's better to let it out. Like I said, frustration, you can walk away frustration, but you have to lift away anger. Lifting weights is the only way to dissipate your anger. It's the only way. Yep. Joker says, I could be wrong, but I'm guessing women in their 30s and 40s would most probably have been either married, must have had multiple sex partners, and your stance against such women would also be a factor. That is true. Carl says, George, it would help attract younger women if you lost the white beard, shave it off, let them see your nice face. I did shave off the beard. I have a goatee. When I had the big beard, I looked like fucking Gandalf. It made me look older. That's just a fact. The goatee, I have found that women like the goatee. I like the goatee. I like a beard, but I like a goatee. So for the summer, I'm doing the goatee. That's that. Cortisol hit lasts about 90 minutes or so, I've heard. That's true. You are so hungry, aren't you? Good boy. Good boy. All right, the natives are getting restless. I must go. I will see you later on today. I may go live tonight for Table for One. I am not sure. We'll see how that works. I'm dying for a ribeye. I had fish the last 2 nights made on the grill. Maybe tonight I'll have ribeye and have it seared in Wagyu beef tallow. Nothing like it. Absolutely incredible. Made by the South Chicago Packing Company. You will love it. I'll put a link for it down below. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to put a link for this. You get this. Put a tablespoon in your coffee. Make sure that you stir it up with a frother. Just a spoon ain't going to be enough. You got to really, really incorporate it into the coffee. It doesn't change the flavor of the coffee. It's not like you're going to be drinking roast beef. This is rendered fat. It's very, very good for you. You will lose weight. You will lose weight. Also, let's see what's happening. There's a regional competition in Michigan. That's where Father Michael Butler is doing an amateur bodybuilding. That's in June. I think he said June 10th. And then at the end of August, early September, he's in the Nationals in Pittsburgh. That's closer. So my thoughts are that we should, there's a bunch of us, you guys and me, we should get together and purchase tickets to see him in his competition in Pittsburgh. If you're interested in that, I'm going to be talking about it in the next few weeks. We'll nail it down. We'll figure out a hotel we can all stay at. Everyone get a room. You know, who knows? I don't know if it's in Pittsburgh proper or like one of the towns outside. We'll see. And we'll make sure that that night of the competition, we'll make sure that we meet at a steakhouse, a Capitol Grill, a Fleming's, a Sullivan's or something like that, and we're going to practice what we preach and eat ribeye. None of this, oh, we'll meet at a diner and have open-faced Reuben sandwiches and coffee. Fuck that. We're having steak. So save your money. Think about it. We go to a nice steakhouse. It's going to cost you $100. Put aside your money now. And then you men, I'm going to be speaking at in Charlotte, North Carolina on Saturday, October 14th. I'm looking forward to that. I want your ass there, gentlemen. Don't give me any fucking excuses. Go to Mission of Excellence. missionofexcellence.com. Use the promo code Bruno2023. You get $50 off your ticket. It's about $350 for a full day conference talking about masculinity, growing your money, building your muscles. That's going to be pretty fucking cool. That's in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's for men only. So there's things that I want you to meet me at, rather than us just sitting here all this mental masturbation online. Let's put our money where our mouth is and actually meet face to face. That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. Dye your hair. Take off about 10 years. It'll also take off my hair as well. I'm not into coloring my hair. That will not be happening. That will not be happening. What, so I could have roots every 4 weeks? Gray roots every 4 weeks? No, thank you. You forgot I'm in the hair industry. I hate coloring hair, even though that's one of the things I did for a living, part-time for many, many years. So let me say this. If you want coaching, if you're a man and you want coaching of how to get better in life, if you want to get out of a relationship, if you want to get out of a marriage, if you are recovering from a breakup or a divorce, let me put it this way. It's expensive, but you know what's more expensive is making the same fucking mistakes over and over and over and over. It's time to stop making those mistakes. Invest some money in yourself. It's not cheap, but neither is staying stuck. And I can help you with that. I've been doing it since 1982. That's a long time, my friendly acquaintance. All right. Have a great day. Walk tall, suck your stomach in, shoulders back, head held high, chest out. Walk 25% faster. Walk with a purpose. Be a man with a purpose. Stop it with this wandering bullshit. Next thing you know, you're going to be old and you can't walk. I want you to make babies until the day you fucking die. Be fruitful and multiply. God's first commandment. That's what we need to be doing. God's first commandment. And be inspirational. So I salute you, my brother, bro, brah, bruh, bruv. Have a great day.